Hey, it's Chris from the PlayStation blog, and we are here with Neil Druckmann, co-lead game designer for Uncharted 2. We're so excited about this game. Neil, thanks so much for being with us. We're gonna throw some questions from our community. Your questions right here. Let's get into it. Enkidu asked, what kind of environments will be featured in Uncharted 2, and will these still be lush jungle environments, or will it only be urban and snowy environments?
We're really pushing as far as the kind of different environments you're going to see in Uncharted, like you saw in Uncharted 1 to Uncharted 2. So right now we're showing kind of the Warzone level and the Snow Village level for our competitive area. And yes, you will see lush areas, you will see all kinds of different areas as you go from the adventure, much more than you saw in Uncharted 1.
Right. Okay. Skyneas asks, are you going to have a partner with you throughout the game? And if this is the case, obviously they're asking about co-op online. Will that happen?
As you saw today, we announced our co-op mode. So through co-op mode, one player always plays in Drake, and two other people will play as his partners. And today we're showing you playing through the Warzone area. One person plays as Drake, another as Sullivan, and another plays as Chloe, his new romantic lead on Uncharted.
So we're going to see from what we got going on here, obviously they can't see, but are we going to have a lot of good co-op interaction together?
Yeah, and as far as our co-op mode is separate from a single-player mode, and for single-player, we only showed so far that Drake is teamed up with Chloe. Right now, Sully is there, but it's only for what we're showing for co-op mode. So as far as who Drake's teams up for the rest of Uncharted 2, we're going to hold our cards to our chest for now.
All right, so for co-op, how important is working together?
It's essential. I mean, it's really what we're pushing with that mode. So we're taking like stretches of our single-player game, redoing some of the layout. We programmed a whole new kind of battle manager, so when you play it, it should feel different every time. And we have these cinematic events that you guys are working together to get through the environment. So for example, you boost a partner up, he's climbing in the building, and he's trying to get to a window to drop something down to open the path for you. Meanwhile, more enemies spawn into the area, and the two guys that have stayed below have to really work as a team to protect him to reach the next objective.
Awesome. Another question from Heavenly King. In Uncharted 2, we'll be able to drive vehicles in a more expanded way than in Uncharted 1.
One vehicle we're showing today in kind of a multiplayer mode, there's a helicopter flying overhead, raining missiles on you, shooting kind of gunfire. And as far as we're not talking about other vehicle sequences just yet.
Okay, so you're teasing a little bit.
Just a little bit.
All right.
But if there's anything to expect from Uncharted 1, it's kind of variety and the fast pacing, and you're going to see a lot of different big cinematic moments. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, that's good enough. Kamikaze 135. Is the mood of this game the same as the first? Does it have that funny and epic feeling throughout the entire game?
Yeah, even though we're going for a deeper kind of storyline with kind of deeper conflict for Drake, you're going to see him on his much shadier side in the single-player adventure. We still wanted to keep that quirkiness, that lighthearted pulp adventure feeling that we captured in Uncharted 1. We definitely don't want to lose that and just go kind of too gritty or just too gothic, or I don't even know how to describe it. But definitely it's going to have the charm of Uncharted 1.
Marvel Assassin wants to know about the pacing of the game. Are we going to see similar pacing to Uncharted 1?
Absolutely. One of the things we loved about Uncharted 1 that we felt like we really hit the nail on the head is the pacing. You're constantly going from new area to new area, seeing new characters, seeing twists and turns of the storylines, and now we're just amping it up to 11 as far as Uncharted 2. You're going to see more twists and turns between the characters and just big kind of climactic events that correspond to the emotional side of the storyline.
Right, and obviously one of my favorite parts of the game, I'm sure many people out there, were the interactive cutscenes. Are we going to see more of that?
Absolutely. I mean, we're not doing any QuickTime events in this game, but you're going to see big spectacle events. And unlike other games where you maybe see it in the distance or it's a cutscene, we're putting you in the middle of it. When there's a building getting shot by a helicopter and it's collapsing, you're playing in the middle of it, fighting other enemies while the whole building's collapsing around you.
Okay. The Patriots ask, what are some of the things you're doing to extend the single-player experience and longevity of Uncharted 2?
I mean, one thing we're doing for the single-player experience, like I said before, is really kind of anteing up. Like, we took our enemies and just added a whole new kind of way for them to observe and hear the area, and that let us get this whole new stealth mechanic. So you could really just approach now becomes a big part of the combat system, how you approach the battle area. And on top of that, our kind of traversal gunplay, where you could use signs and sides of buildings that cover it, really just opens up the possibility space for the player in Uncharted 2.
Right, and I know it's early to talk DLC, but I have to ask since it's on here. They were also asking about maybe different costumes for the game, stuff down the line.
We are supporting DLC.
Excellent. Okay, we'll take that.
Okay.
Kira84, what new moves did you add to make the platforming deeper?
So one thing we did is we have this kind of free climbing mechanic that once Drake, for example, gets on the side of a building that has extruding bricks, he can just freely climb on it top to bottom, doesn't always have to jump from platform to platform. The other thing, we have brachiating, so Drake can kind of monkey bar underneath. And the one thing we're really pushing is any mode in the game you can shoot from. So even if you're jumping in the air, you can blind fire enemies on the way down. If you're hanging on the wall, you could take out your pistol and aim at enemies. So really pushing this idea of traversal gunplay. Anywhere you can traverse from becomes a new area to hide and flank the enemies.
So it's safe to say that platforming will make it sort of a very fluid experience with the rest of the action and combat.
Yeah, what we really want to get away from is just sections that's pure platforming and sections that are pure combat, and try to meld the two tighter together.
Yeah. Are you guys planning custom soundtracks? That's from Chris Cowboy.
I don't know.
Okay.
But why would you want to? We have such an amazing composer that's coming back for Uncharted 2, and you're going to have just amazing soundtrack for this game. I guarantee it. You're not going to want to turn it off.
That's very true. So it's a good segue into the music. So what can you actually tell us, for people that don't know the composer? Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Composer is Greg, and he did such an amazing job on the first game. For those who don't know, he did the soundtrack for the TV show Firefly. We're bringing him back for this game, and now that we're more kind of in Asia and following Marco Polo's path through the Himalayas, we're using different instruments to get that kind of feel of the area we're in the game.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. I listened to some tracks, it kicks ass.
Excellent. So the first game was a somewhat linear experience. Are we going to have that sort of same linear feel, or will we have side missions and sort of multiple paths or anything like that?
What we're doing is what we're calling wide linear. So we want that linear experience in that it takes you through a very tight story. We don't want to just open the path. Is Drake going to save this person or not save this person? Really take you on this roller coaster ride beginning to end. But what we're doing is opening the combat in such a way that, like I was saying, we have action stealth. So how you approach the combat, really we give you all these different paths and avenues to okay, I see that guy patrolling over there. I could go break his neck, steal his grenades, then use those against a group of guys that are just off to the side kind of talking about what the bad guys send them to do. So really giving you more options within combat, but still that linear, tight experience that people enjoyed on Uncharted 1.
So it's safe to say that you're playing as Nathan, there'll be choices to make, but not necessarily, you can either stealth kill someone or you can sort of go about it a variety of ways, right?
Yeah, it's not okay, I'm going to take the helicopter or fly off to the side. It's we know kind of where you're going to go, so we can just orchestrate this very tight cinematic experience where we really take the emotions of the story and tie them together with the gameplay and the big cinematic gameplay moments that we have in the game.
Right, and Dark Vincent wants to know about replay value. What can you say about why someone might buy this game? Obviously we have multiplayer this time, but what else can you talk about?
So Uncharted 2 is going to be way more engaging, much more cinematic moments that are just you're going to want to play those moments again. They're going to be so engaging. And you're going to love these new characters we're bringing into the story. You're going to want to see them again and play the adventure with them again. And then on top of that, we announced today, we're having co-op and multiplayer along the way. And on top of that, we're going to have a ton of unlockables for all three modes. We have a currency system that we give you money as you achieve certain aspects of the game, whether it's single player, competitive, or co-op. They're going to let you unlock things in each one of those modes.
All right. And I just have to ask, what are you most excited about with Uncharted 2? I know I could sit here and ask you questions all day, but I want to know what you're really stoked about.
Honestly, I'm really looking forward to just sitting down and playing the game. We're just working our asses off to give the fans what they want. We're crazy to try to do all these three modes together, but we know the fans really were kind of clamoring for a co-op experience and a competitive experience that I'm just going to enjoy sitting down and playing the game and then calling a few of my buddies and playing with them online.